This is 18.
Mercer, one half of the tag team champions. I'm here to tell you that if you want to be a champion, if you want to survive this thing, wear your freaking mask, okay? It comes in all different colors. You can get Eclipse Blue, JC White and Black, or even hell, Blue and Gold. But guys, please, also remember, please, it goes over the nose. Over the nose. Thank you.
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us and IndyWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Just Pro Wrestling News Podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. It is the Monday Mayhem Warriors. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA. Oh, there's a thing in the way. Hello, there's everything. Hi, this is the rest of the studio. We got some new hardware. This little thing over here we're trying out, and that's how you're seeing all of our video come through, except for this right here. But when we go over to this little shot over here, where everybody will be, hopefully this works. So bear with us. Oh no, it won't switch. Oh no, it won't switch. This is the first problem we have. Oh wait, no, this is me. That was a user error on my side. So if there's any little glitches or anything, we're working on them out tonight. It's the first time we're using a big part of this setup. So if anything sound weird, look weird, please let us know in the chat rooms wherever you may be tonight. We are also, for the first time in a while, going back to streaming to the IndyWrestling.us feeds over on the YouTube and the Twitch page. So hello, if you're out there. We're just spreading it out a little bit more and finding that audience and getting the mayhem going. So here we go. And I'm already not liking that frame rate going out there, so we got to see what we can do about that. But anyways, I got it with us first from Beacon, New York. He's the only Mayhemmer with a future endeavor letter from the WWE. He is Mad Mike.
I feel like we need to. Okay, Tina knows. Okay, yeah. Don't you dare be sour. Clap for your world famous WWE champion and feel the power.
New WWE champion Big E on WWE. That's fantastic. That's awesome. That's awesome. So that's great to see. Good for Big E. Good for Big E.
Yes, exactly how they drew it up. A random Raw in the middle of September to cash in when he's been taunting Paul Heyman for months.
Yeah,
just how they drew it up.
Just as they planned it. Absolutely.
Just as they
absolutely. So, but that I'm sorry. I'm unfortunately I did the wrong thing, and I read the news tweets which are probably all wrong, but have colored my expectations for tonight. That's why we have somebody like Matt Carlins of the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast that keeps me from those toxic headlines without all the toxic pop-ups going on. And Matt Carlins is with us right now.
Hi, Sorg.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
This is probably not the right time to tell everyone that I got sucked into the ESPN2 simulcast of Monday Night Football tonight. It was Peyton Manning and Eli Manning just trading brother jokes, roasting each other for 4 hours. It was chaotic. It was crazy. There were production errors. There were glitches. Travis Kelce swore over the air. Travis Kelce swore. Dropped an S-bomb on the air. You could see it coming. He was stopping himself, but he couldn't contain the swearing. And there were moments when you could hear the director trying to give them time cues going to break.
You know, I feel bad.
Like the hit rate on the time cues going to break were like 50-50. Sometimes the Mannings would stop. Sometimes they just keep on talking, and they just cut them off. It was crazy.
I now I don't feel bad because I accidentally left my mic open to the commentators. They could hear me switching shots at the beginning of the show on the pay-per-view. I don't think that made the final though. That was before the stuff that we would have used. But while we're talking about like rules and stuff,
Sorgatron's out here directing your independent pro wrestling shows on an ESPN2 level. So
apparently, yeah, apparently, I guess so. So
quality stuff.
Yeah,
unbelievable. I can't wait. I hope they don't change a thing. It was so crazy. And it's hard to even describe what happened, but it was fantastic. I got totally sucked in, but I did wander back onto the USA Network just in time to see like the back half of that main event, and then watch Big E bring his plot device to the ring. Which is no longer, remember, this is no longer a booking tool in WWE. This is an escape hatch. That's what that Money in the Bank briefcase is.
It's the break glass in case of low ratings.
Break glass in case of emergency. In case of booking emergency, break glass and cash in. So, but you know what? If anyone's going to benefit from this thing, Big E, excellent choice.
Is Bobby Lashley... Bobby Lashley is the first person to be involved with the Money in the Bank cash-in twice in the same year.
What?
Yeah, I don't
he
know.
is, because he was the one that beat the shit out of Drew, so it missed a cash-in.
How many times have we had more than one cash-in in a single year?
We haven't.
In this single
We haven't, but I'm just
era,
saying.
Right?
I'm just saying, you know.
I mean, there has to be, because some of them have carried over until the next year, so like it had to have, right?
I'm sure, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of being stupid now because, I mean, Nikki just cashed in a couple months ago. So, I mean, it's happening over and over again. But
that wasn't
obviously
for,
I'm
that wasn't
focused
for
on
ratings. That was just for, you know.
Yeah, that was just for...
That was because...
I'm still not 100% sure why they did that.
No,
but
it's because they don't want a woman to carry the briefcase.
They don't want a woman to carry the briefcase.
The only one who's ever carried it for more than like a day or so was Carmella.
Is this because briefcases are for men?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm just wondering if you had a larger theory on that.
Sorg, did you just do a star wipe?
Yeah, I have some new hardware on here that I can do. I can do one of these things. I can do. Let's see. I got some new toys on this thing. Unfortunately, I'm not. I'm honestly not impressed with how it looks for connecting to this situation. But we're gonna reconfigure things, and hopefully things will look a little bit better on the video feeds tomorrow night. But sorry. I'm playing. Okay, this is my first show using this thing, so.
All right. Sorg's got a new toy.
As usual, we're just guinea pigs for future Sidekick Media production.
Absolutely.
So here we are. We're just like in the test tube once again.
Honestly, I'm trying to figure out if this thing is going to be adequate to produce professional wrestling. So it's like, can I get away with producing professional wrestling on a $500 mixer device? We'll find out. We'll find out.
Throw myself into the wall back here or anything?
What? That's not the point. No. No, but there's definitely some things working out right now that says we may not be able to. But we'll see how that goes. But anyways, that's not the point. So anyways, So that was Raw tonight. They did something big. I'm sorry. I'm so colored by. I read Twitter a lot this weekend, and
Sorg, you should never do that.
And there was a lot of WWE.
Unless your timeline is carefully curated.
WWE got beat last week in their key demo with AEW,
all right,
and therefore
all,
they
right.
changed all their plans, and Big E is going to be on Raw and do this thing.
Here's the thing.
I hate this.
They're not
I hate
even
this.
running on the same day.
I know.
Like the reason Monday Night Football.
Yes.
Football is very popular.
I
They
mean-
always do something big as soon as football starts.
This is true. That makes sense. It makes sense.
And
why?
And spoiler alert.
Why?
Spoiler alert. More people still watch Raw
than
watch Dynamite.
And listen,
Okay.
this is more indictment on wrestling news again. The whole reason we do just pro wrestling news. No. Listen what I read. Listen what I ended up doing. Hold on.
That's all you have to
I
do.
followed the thread. I fucking clicked on the link because I saw the same headline from like 3 different places, including I think Fightful. Okay, which I think is an okay one, right? I think we
None of
quote
them are okay,
Perfectly
so.
reputable.
we quote them on just pro wrestling news. But so I clicked it, and literally at the top is an update saying that whatever was reported below is not the case. This was, so I it's like, what are we doing here?
All right,
Sorg,
I'll step in.
Sorry, they're doing what they got you to click. That's what they're doing.
Yes,
All
they
right.
did. Damn it.
That's why I'm glad there is a place we can go that is just pro wrestling news, doesn't require a click. It's 5 minutes out of your day. It's perfect. Matt, can you tell us more about that?
First of all, here's what happened. On last Monday, they spent an entire show setting up a tag team title match for tonight's Raw and announced a WWE Championship match between Bobby Lashley and Randy Orton for Extreme Rules. Wednesday comes, a certain unnamed professional wrestling program does quite well in the 18 to 49 and best Raw within the same week in the 18 to 49 demo.
Which was on a Labor Day. So, like, on a
Friday
holiday.
It was on Labor Day.
I'm just double checking my calendar and make sure you're right. You're right. What the hell does Labor Day have to do with this? Hold on.
And it's
holiday.
probably a lot of the same people watching both shows.
Whatever. Friday comes along. The championship match is moved up to Monday. Why do you think this happens?
Football.
No. Football season has been there. That Monday Night Football game has been scheduled for that day for months. It's not some surprise. It's not some sneak attack. And I'm parroting someone else's take I saw online. This is probably Chico Alvarez's take.
I would still
But you
like
know
to
what?
point
He's
out-
right, and so am I. That football game was going to happen. Vince knew that football game was going to happen. The plans weren't changed, or at least the announcement of the plans changing didn't happen until after that Dynamite rating came out. So, what do you think happened? They want to win the 18 to 49, and you know what? They're probably going to win the 18 to 49 demo.
No, you know
So,
what? The
good.
thing is,
No, but this is what
they're
happened.
probably not going to.
Why not?
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
football's on?
No,
Why wouldn't they? They have Adam Cole
There's
against,
plenty of people out there.
wait. Who? Stop using the pronoun game. Who's going to win the 18 to 49?
I am quite sure, based on the show that WWE put out there tonight, that Raw will win the 18 to 49.
No,
this
I
week.
don't think so.
I
Because
don't
before the
expect this to be
cash-in,
some flip
before
of
the cash-in,
switch.
Raw was hot garbage.
No, but listen,
Raw was hot garbage.
But they held everybody
They-
on through because of the cash-in. Because they
Or-
teased it throughout the
or
night. You have Big E
essentially-
throughout the night.
Or
they were essentially telling everyone that this cash-in was going to happen tonight.
Or-
So
Mhm.
you had to tune
or-
in to see if they were screwing with us or not.
Or conversely, people just tuned into the last 10 minutes of the show.
Possible.
Because if you notice, which was the stupidest fucking decision that I've ever seen on Raw, which encompasses a lot, Big E cashes in, hands in his briefcase, we go to commercial. Because they want that last quarter hour rating. That's all it is.
There's so
That's
many.
all it the fuck is. Because It's stupid. It's very, very stupid. It's very stupid. Because if you think about it contextually, what was Big E doing during that commercial break?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
This is like a constant issue on Raw, though. It's
Like
oddly
the way
placed
they did
commercial
Nikki's cash-in was fantastic. It was perfect. It was the same exact spot. It was the same exact thing. It's just they didn't cut to commercial. Like
I mean, I can't guess what the strategy was there. Maybe they wanted to give it a few minutes for the buzz to get around, for people to call their friends, catch it on Twitter, flip over. There might be some strategy behind it. This show, these changes were made to this show. The show was booked this way so that they would not lose this 18-49 demo again.
But you know
I don't
what?
think they will. Okay, because I
will
don't,
next
I don't
week.
think I just think the ebb and the flow of the
It's still
of the
the same
ratings are
show.
such that I don't think it's gonna be.
It's still the same show.
But look, I feel like last week was an especially hot week for AEW, and they had a lot of momentum, and that's
Yes, of course.
part of the reason that they won that demo. I don't expect it to happen every single week going forward, so I think it's reasonable to assume that WWE will come back this week and win that demo again.
The ratings for Rampage dropped off a lot. It went back to like 730,000.
Which is 10 o'clock on a Friday night is still pretty freaking good. So.
If you thought the ratings for Friday night's Rampage without the Britt Baker or the CM Punk buzz that it had was going to stay up there, it's a hockey stick situation. So I mean, that's not news. That's completely expected.
Right. So
yeah, but like this is just an anomaly, and honestly,
wait, what was the anomaly?
The rating pop.
Which rating pop?
Oh, that's not an anomaly. That was.
No, I just want to make sure that we're clear on. I know if I have to respond to this or not. But is the anomaly the Dynamite rating last week or the Raw rating coming up later?
The Dynamite rating. They're coming off a pay-per-view.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying Raw will probably bounce back.
It was
this
post-pay-per-view.
week. You're here trying to disagree with me. Like, no, they'll probably lose again.
So it turns out. So wait. So have we ended up with? Turns out you guys just agree on this, but but just have stated in ways opposing each other.
We're not allowed to agree with.
Oh, okay, I got you.
No, we're agreeing, but like.
No, we're not.
All right. Okay.
All of this is the right answer, obviously. So yeah. Okay.
Congratulations, Big E.
That's why we're either way. Maybe the fans. I don't know if it's the fans. I don't know if it's the demo. I don't know if it's the ratings. But Big E is the benefactor of this one, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
good job.
A new day.
Good job, Big E. Well, good.
And you know what?
Fantastic.
We might get to see Kyle O'Reilly benefit from this as well.
Someone's
gonna.
All right. So Sorg. I don't know if you heard about this.
What?
Samoa Joe has relinquished the NXT Championship.
What?
So now,
say it ain't so.
Tomorrow night on the relaunch of Tie-Dyed Raw.
No.
Whatever derogatory.
It's NXT 2.0, Matt. Get it right.
2.0 is on Dynamite.
Because that's what they're hoping to pop.
Yes, they are. 2.0 is on Dynamite.
No. I got you. So NXT 2.0. New logo, new set, new champion. So the four-way for the number one contender is now a title match. So by the time we're sitting here in 24 hours, possibly, this is WWE, so anything can happen. But in theory, one of these four people will be the NXT champion. Tommaso Ciampa, Kyle O'Reilly,
Pete
Dunne, or, of course, my pick to take it, L.A. Knight.
L.A. Knight or bust.
Take it, L.A. Take us home.
Mm-hmm.
Take us home to Destination America, L.A.
Wait, that is when he was popular, wasn't it? Was Destination America?
That's a guess.
Man, I loved looking at trailers for the Amish Ghost Hunter shows.
Hey, remember when, like, Schitt's Creek was on right after Impact, and we would be like, God, that sounds like a terrible show.
Turns out, still haven't watched it.
Turns
by the way.
out,
Still
turns
haven't
out,
watched
it's
it.
pretty great.
Yeah, yeah. So, hey, can I talk about a show that I've been watching? Because somebody knew, and I got an ad on probably Facebook for Starz for $3 for 3 months. So I watched Heels.
Oh,
The first 2 episodes.
okay, that's where I'm at too.
I don't think I like the show.
Okay.
I really don't think I like this show. I don't know. I mean, granted, okay, I understand the idea that, like, just like anything, like, it's like, okay, it's not a wrestling show, it's a family show, or it's a show about a broken family that happens to be around wrestling. I mean, that's okay. I understand that. I get it. But
To be fair, I think that's what Raw is too.
fighting with my family, same thing, right?
Same difference.
Okay,
Hello?
same difference. Same difference. It's just
Same shit.
it's a more southern version of it, right? So,
Young Rock, same thing.
Southern Glow.
did I miss?
I'm
Did I
going
watch
with
all of Young Rock?
Glow,
Did they?
same
Glow.
thing. Glow on Netflix, same thing.
Right.
They're all the
right,
same thing.
Right. Right. So
SmackDown, same thing. The broken family is the bloodline.
okay. I was gonna go with Ray and Dominic, but Lucha Underground.
Not
same
yet.
thing, yeah.
Not yet.
Not
We're
yet.
getting
No,
there.
we're not there. I don't know. We had some relationship issues last
Dominic
year or so,
Guerrero
did we?
coming soon.
You're not my poppy.
Anyways,
Heels.
Heels. No, I watched the first 2 episodes, and I feel like, first of all, I'm getting really big Arrow vibes from the thing where he wants to do everything by himself and doesn't want to let anybody else help him in this big endeavor. So it's like Southern Arrow. So that, I don't know. That's my first impression of it. I also, for a Fed that, like, this thing happens and everything, like, I'm like, don't these guys have anything else to do but hang out at this venue? And then I'm thinking about some venues I know in town. I'm like, oh, right.
No, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this seems familiar. And also, is that James Harrison of the Steelers that's on that?
Yes,
Possibly.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay. 'cause
No, not possibly. It is.
Okay.
It absolutely.
Okay.
I watched the San Diego Comic-Con panel.
Okay.
It's absolutely him.
By the way, James Harrison, fantastic actor, by the way.
Yeah, he was great.
I didn't expect. I can't remember the last time an ex-NFL player was a good actor. Generally, so I mean, or basketball. I couldn't even get past 20 minutes of Space Jam 2. Anyways,
I don't blame you.
But Mike, I'm really curious your thoughts on this, because especially since we're in the same spot on this thing.
I've enjoyed it so far, kinda. I'm like, it's a lot of setup. I'm waiting for them to get into
What we get into, right?
Yeah, because I think it's 9 episodes. So and
they have 5 released now, I think, as of Sunday night.
Yeah.
And here's the problem: I don't want to go to the next episode. They already.
But I think the next episode has CM Punk in it.
No, I mean, when I finish one, I don't want to go to another one, because it's just this is just kind of slow and sad right now. And I know that's the point of the story. And they're in, I think, Southern Florida, if I'm not mistaken. They're running a Fed. The father had died. I think the father and grandfather all ran this promotion. And the 2 brothers are involved, and the older one was bestowed it, and is like, you see him writing the scripts and everything and setting it up. They kind of go through things, and there's people helping out and everything. Like, you don't even see the guy's day job until like episode 2. Which I thought that was a really interesting play. There's one guy, the brother who's the face is the younger brother, who's kind of an asshole, but he's the good guy.
Not kind of.
He's
Sounds
really
like
an
kind of an
asshole. He's
really is,
really an asshole and still lives with mom. But he's the good guy, so they've been working him up to this title match, brother versus brother, and he just gets, and things go awry. They fight, they fight for real. And then there's a bar fight at a karaoke bar. And so, spoiler, there is nudity, so Tina, don't watch it with Junior.
Yes.
So it's a very
lots of cursing.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's cursing, which just kind of goes with it. So,
Wow.
but I know you guys are loosening that up for the NFL season. But anyways, it's a fine. It's shot really well. I feel like one thing I notice when I'm watching like stuff on like Apple TV is like everything is just really nice, high production, and a lot of stuff they do in this show I think is done really well too. I don't know. Again, it doesn't have that kind of visceral, thing that I think Glow had, or anything like that.
Oh,
but
Glow was also a shorter series.
it's also a comedy. I mean, this is a
Yeah.
drama. This is a straight up drama
Yeah,
show
it's a drama.
for sure. So again, I'm through that second episode. So and there's Mike, are you laughing along with me at the rival promotion? That's pushing itself as a blood and guts promotion.
Southpaw Regional Wrestling.
Yeah, right. But all of the commercials and footage they show of this rival promotion are blood matches from AAA and Impact Wrestling, usually involving Abyss and the future Matanza, not Matanza. Sorry,
Mil Muertes.
Thank you.
Mil Muertes, yeah.
I thought that was an interesting way to do
no,
that. So.
I mean, it was probably the cheapest footage they could license.
It probably was. It absolutely probably was.
So, and they probably didn't I bet. Would it surprise me if Heels gets picked up for a season 2? If we see Stephen Amell's character on AEW?
I'm surprised we haven't yet.
No, it wouldn't. No.
Who owns Starz?
If you listen to the podcast that Renee Young did with Stephen Amell, they talk about it and why it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So why hasn't it happened?
So why hasn't it happened? I'm not going to go listen to that podcast.
Because they're just starting out.
Okay.
Oh, because it's kind of a newer. They're trying to see if it's a hit before they start sharing the love.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But ironically, this is not the weirdest use of TNA I've seen in
likely not
a movie or a TV show. You know what the weirdest one is? In the movie Head of State, where Chris Rock is the presidential candidate, he goes to TNA. He gets put through a table by the Harris brothers.
Why don't I remember that? Wow. Why don't I remember that?
It's very quick.
Okay.
It's very brief. But Road Dogg introduces them it's real weird. It's real weird.
So, and also as far as connections, because there's always, I mean, okay, TNT is Warner Brothers, so you can see crossovers with any Warner Brothers owned property, right?
Yeah,
that's why
I don't think they own Starz.
That's why I always no, we'll get into that. But that's why I always tease about, hey, don't be surprised when AEW pops up on HBO Max, right? So much like. Peacock WWE. But it's all internal. Not that they own. Yeah, actually, it's the same because they don't own the wrestling feds, but they have a relationship. Starz is actually owned by Lionsgate. And do you remember the Lionsgate connection to wrestling?
No.
Lionsgate has distributed many of WWE films productions. So there you go. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe that's it. I don't know. The relationship is more there than the other way. So I don't know. Who knows what the business is of that relationship. So especially since WWE is doing more on Starz lately. So including that Undertaker New Day interactive joint that we talked about last week.
That's on Netflix.
So
that's on Netflix.
What did I say? I meant Netflix.
It's Starz. Yeah.
Starz. No, I meant Netflix. So there's that. So I mean, Heels, it's fine. I mean, I don't think you need to rush out and watch it. Get yourself. I mean, wait another 4 weeks for all of the release. Get that week trial. Give it a shot. Kind of thing. If you're not.
And who knows? We've only watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
It could rocket in. I plan on watching the next 3 sometime very soon.
Oh, absolutely. As I have time, and I'm caught up on my Ted Lasso now, so we're good to go. So Sorry, I was just thinking about that conversation earlier where we talked about the potential soccer job that might come up, and all I know about soccer is Ted Lasso. So it was a fun day on Slack.
Yeah.
Anyways, what else is going on here? Hey, can we talk for a moment about our friend of the show, Lee Moriarty?
Sure.
Because
Absolutely.
I would love to talk about his match tonight on Elevation.
yeah, he was on Elevation. He was in the news, of course, with there was a I think it was I don't know if they released I think it was a fan video or something, wasn't it? That was put out.
There hasn't been like an official tweet yet, but it's kind of the worst kept secret in wrestling. So.
Absolutely. So basically, he had a match with Daniel Garcia, which was fantastic, by the way. But then again, I don't know when last time I've seen Daniel Garcia in a bad match. So, indies or on there at AEW. So they had a fantastic match. Of course, that was filmed last Wednesday before Dynamite, and we all saw this tweet at like 7:57 p.m. right before Dynamite came on, of Tony Khan coming out, and Lee's on stage with him, and he says, "How about if you join AEW?" So in the meantime, he is leading into. He was somewhere Friday, I think. I feel like he was part of AEW in Cleveland Friday night. I know we were down in Charleston doing the Pro Wrestling Conquest pay-per-view. Which is now available on IndyWrestling.us. But you can't. So he was doing that. There was the kind of homecoming-ish Ryse Wrestling Taiga style with his face on the poster happening Saturday night, which of course led to Dean Radford and Brandon Kay in the ring, giving a speech for him, and then Lee being the ultimate Lee Moriarty afterwards, saying, "Hey, thanks everybody," and everybody came out to the ring and everything too. He says, "Thanks everybody," but Marcus says we have to be out of this place by 11. By the way, this is before intermission, so it's not even like the end of the night. So that was his send-off speech. So, and then of course seeing him on pay-per-view on Sunday on Death Before Dishonor, he was in a 6-man tag that was a hand-picked Pure Wrestling team against Violence Unlimited, which also led to Jay Lethal coming out, who gave a general he's like, "You kick ass, and I'm glad you're here. You kick ass, you're glad you're here. You kick ass, and I wish you were staying," to Lee. And it was a big thing about Pure Wrestling in the history of Ring of Honor. It was a really nice thing that they did in the ring there, kind of thing. And then of course Monday we get to see the Elevation match that led to the buzz that we're talking about. I mean, he is somebody. He is somebody who is equally very good and seems to hate the spotlight. If you've noticed, but very humble, very cool, and it's one of those for years I've seen him pop up in places. I remember being at a place in West Virginia, and somebody said, "Who is that guy?" and says, "Oh, that's Lee. He won't be here long." And we were just basically all of us, I think Pittsburgh wrestling as a whole has been, and as he grew and everybody's been seeing him on indie wrestling, I think we've all been collectively holding our breath for when Lee was going to get signed. And it finally happened, and just elated that it is on a big stage like AEW to see that. I'm going to look for, obviously he's going to be all over Dark the next several weeks as they figure out what they're doing with him. I'm sure plug him in there in that kind of stuff. And also side note, seeing some of the tweets and the pictures from the Orlando tapings for AEW Dark. If you're a fan of people in Pittsburgh wrestling, you should watch AEW Dark Elevation, whatever they filmed there, for the near future. There's a lot of really interesting faces. Guys have been on there, guys and girls that have been on there. There's a girl that I don't even know if she's had her first match otherwise, but I saw that she's on a Dark. I think just turned 18, and she was blowing up. Yeah, she's there. The one, the girl, what is she?
The girl.
Is I can't remember her name. It's Nikita something. But she's the one that Lee Moriarty was doing the spots with in at the Stronghold, Ryse's training facility. And it blew up, and somebody told me, was like, yeah, everybody wants to book her, but she's like not even done training, and she's not even of age yet. So, you know, like wait till the fall, and here she is at AEW already. So that's fantastic, right? You know, and of course, you know, people we know, you know, Cole Carter, who just got his face burned off this weekend with Jock Sampson, guys like that, you know, being a part of that. So it's really cool to see that kind of stuff happening. A lot of those guys getting, Andrew Palace is getting, I mean, how many times we've seen him on Dark lately, right? Over the last several months, you know, a guy that's been just kicking ass for so long. So it's really, 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 really cool. And we'll probably be putting up here in the next couple of days, but definitely I think worth hearing is Dean Radford's speech for Lee Moriarty, we'll say, about what a wrestler should be. So I think that's really worthwhile. So, but anyways, yeah. So I just want to kind of put that out in the world. And I had something else about this weekend and those couple of shows too. But I don't know. Did you guys have? Matt, I know you've seen a lot of Lee Moriarty here on the shows that we've been filming with Indie Wrestling and Sidekick Media over the last several years.
Yeah, the thing about Lee is, you're right, Sorg. Like, first time I saw Lee was like in a converted movie theater.
Yes.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
Like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And there's, I don't want to disparage it, because I mean they had a great following down there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they put more people in the seats than I would have reasonably expected to see them in there. So, you know, those guys down there do a great job getting the word out. And but even at that point, in front of however many people, it was the word was out. It was like, yeah, we'll probably never see Lee again.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, Lee would come back every once in a while. Every time Lee would wrestle around Pittsburgh for the last couple of years, and I'm kind of looping around the pandemic, you know, empty arena,
mm-hmm.
black hole that kind of swallowed up indie wrestling for a little bit. But it seemed like for, you know, the last 2 or 3 years, every time Lee wrestled a match in the Pittsburgh area, the word was, Lee's never coming back. This is it. He's gone.
Mm-hmm.
We're never going to see him again.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the time he leaves and he never comes back.
Mm-hmm.
So,
mm-hmm.
and this time, you know, and even though it was kind of a farewell over the weekend for his original home promotion, he'll be back.
He'll be back because he signed with AEW. He'll be back.
Not just that, but just from what I hear about Lee and the way people talk about him, Lee will be back.
Yeah. He'll be around.
Because I mean, so many of these guys and girls who've come up through the Pittsburgh Indies, and like I can't stop banging the drum enough for like,
mm-hmm.
and I don't want to just make it Pittsburgh. So I refer to it as like the Rust Belt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this Rust Belt pipeline that is like West Virginia, Western PA, South, you know, Western New York, Northeast Ohio, Cleveland area. That's Rust Belt, and it is just funneling wrestling talent out right now. The pipeline is going all over the place. A lot of it, you know, is going into AEW Dark. They get a lot of shots down there, which is awesome to see. But you see them popping up in other places too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge amount of talent, Sorg. We've been talking about this. I swear we've been talking about this for like 5 years. How strong the talent base is around here, and now the next wave is up. Lee Moriarty's here. I think Cole Carter's going to make it. He's looking great.
Absolutely.
We're off and running again. Where's the next wave? Find me some new kids.
I was really trying to convince Cole to do a broken mirror Cody Rhodes angle with his face getting burnt this weekend, but we'll see how that goes. And I don't know, just to gush a little bit more about Pittsburgh Indie Wrestling for a moment. But it's always like, is this just? I mean, are we just enamored with it because it's the thing here and it's ours, right? But I used to feel like that was the case. Yeah, I don't feel like that's the case anymore. So here's my thing, because as you know, as I'm working, I'm going in and seeing other shows literally across the country, and very few shows that I've been to have the vibe that several Pittsburgh shows have. And when we talk about, I know the discussion in Pittsburgh is, all these shows, there's too many shows in Pittsburgh. There's too many wrestling promotions in Pittsburgh. But
They're all strong.
Like, yeah, there's like, what are we thinking? 5 promotions right now. And when I say Pittsburgh, that stretches from West Newton to Worthington, PA. So that's like an hour in each direction, right?
Yeah.
But so all of them are doing 150, 200, 300, if not more, depending on what it is. A couple of them are at capacity for more or less for the buildings they have, and doing great. Bringing in talent and the talent that's developing here, and you see so many of that talent is on TV. I don't know. I can't tell you a promotion that doesn't have a Pittsburgh talent that's been through there, that's homegrown, that isn't on TV. Right? I mean, and that's not counting, like, there's some fucking dirt indie companies around here, sure, right? I mean, that's everywhere. But like your top 5 are fucking ridiculous. Like, in comparison to what you're seeing like across the country. I've seen stuff in Tennessee. I've seen stuff in Michigan. Michigan's wild. I've seen stuff in LA. I've seen stuff in Florida. Like, I went to that show in Florida, and I'm like, I don't know. If I leave a show not knowing people, if I go into a show not knowing people and still don't give a shit about anybody on your roster afterwards, there's a problem with your promotion. There's a problem with something there, right? And that's not all these promotions, but it's just like they're not keyed in like I feel like a lot of these guys are across the board. And I'm not even talking about ones that I work with. That's still like taking in people, others that we don't talk about on the show a lot too. So
it's like there have to be, you got to have so many things in place to have a rich indie scene, which I think our region does have.
Yeah.
You've got to have great trainers. And I think we do have
a
handful of great trainers around here. Shirley
Doe, Super Hentai, Marshall Gambino, Walkin' Wild was a trainer for a bit, and there's a few pretty decent faces going around from that. Currently, Chris LaRusso, Andrew Pallas. Did I say Dean Radford yet? Brandon Kay is pumping out a lot of good stuff. Quinn Magnum pumping out a lot of good guys and girls. That's. I know I missed somebody, and I apologize, but like, geez, who has that many? I mean, you think about like, oh, there's this one guy. He's the guy in town to go to, right? And it's like, we have 2 very viable schools to go with right now. Right. It's ridiculous.
So you've got solid training, and like in the Pittsburgh has a vibe to it. We've talked about this with some of the local wrestlers about how the region, people wrestle in a certain way when they come from this part of the country. It's a little bit more rugged. It's a little bit more grounded. Does that sound correct, describing it that way? So you've got the good training. On top of that, you've got healthy promotions of different levels. There is a true super indie here in our part of here in the Pittsburgh area, but then there's that that extra layer of good indies, stable indies, running every month, giving these kids reps, giving them chances to work, and then we've got enough surrounding us where you don't have to go far. You have to go. Charleston, West Virginia is popping.
Yeah.
Cleveland's always hot.
Yeah.
Buffalo is hot.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to go far to get work around here.
It sounds like so. MV Young, I think, has just moved back to Pittsburgh, and he sent out a tweet a few weeks ago, I think, that illustrated this. He's like, "Oh, I'm 4 or 5 hours from New York City, so many hours from Chicago, so many hours from Cleveland, so many hours from this. Like this is like he was saying, like, this is the perfect hub for him to go to all of these shows realistically, right? Versus New York is on the end and everything else is west, right? Yeah. So I like logistically, like, there's that opportunity. Hitting the road gives a lot of opportunities from here, it seems. So, and again, I always want to kind of position as I am, while we work very close with pro wrestling, I still consider myself a fan, okay, and not in it, and just I don't know what it's like to be a promoter, be a wrestler, and deal what they have to deal with, but on the surface and what I'm seeing and knowing these guys and talking to them the bit I do, like this is all the vibe that I'm getting from that. And I just, I think it's just a perfect time to, I don't know, gush about it and still try to convince Mad Mike to move down here so he can watch more wrestling with us. And I think
that's not an option at this point.
I know it's not at the point, but we can make you
here.
want it. Right?
Yeah, but wanting it doesn't mean it's going to happen. I want the Iconics to come back and win the women's tag titles, or just make their own women's tag titles in AEW. That doesn't mean it's going to fucking happen.
So Sorg, put a bow on this.
Okay.
Now that our sweet baby bird Lee has flown the nest, who's the next guy or girl?
Who's the next guy or
Who's
girl?
the next guy or girl here in the Rust Belt
man.
that we're saying we're never going to see them again the next time they do a show? Well, that's it for them. See ya.
I don't know who's the
Bye.
next Lee that was going to get scooped up signed, but I'm seeing I ones to watch out for. I think the Runway, Calvin Couture and Tyler Klein are on to something. And doing the right stuff, and I don't know, I feel like they've lit a fire under themselves post COVID, and maybe, how many places have you seen them? If you're looking out for them, they are very busy. They are very busy, and it's very, very good. So
Tina's in the chat room banging the drum for the main event and Lady Frost.
Oh, absolutely.
We can't take them for granted at this point.
Frost, I'm not clear on her status with NWA too. So I mean, obviously she's been making a lot of headway there, so I don't know if that is and that's the other thing. I'm never sure who's actually signed. Like I was literally working on something you and I were working on, Matt, and Daniel Garcia is there, and I'm editing this interview with him, and I'm just like, I don't know if he's actually signed to AEW. He's there.
They got these different they got different deals. They people a lot of wrestling promotions are much more accepting of guys playing out their other deals.
Right.
So they're like, look,
Lee...
I've committed for the next 3 months to my local indie home promotion. Will be like,
Yeah. Like Lee was on the pay-per-view Sunday night for a Ring of Honor, but obviously he was not tied to anything, right? So I don't know. So when you look at like Lady Frost and NWA, and I haven't asked, to see where she's at, but with that stuff, and I'm sure there's private whatever with that, but I mean, she was pretty prominent that pay-per-view weekend between the pre-show on the anniversary show and also she broke the switcher.
She wrestled in the main event on Empower.
She did. I did joke with her on Friday because we were doing the pay-per-view for the first time on Conquest. I'm like, listen, I'm just going to leave the title on for you for like half the match, just to keep that NWA vibe going for you. But anyways, no, the Frost Benjamin, and I'm going to put the pair in there, okay? Because like collectively, I think they've been doing amazing. And main event has been like, every time they pop up on AEW, it's like, why aren't they signed, right? So I like that. Like, why isn't he signed? Just like hearing those guys and Wardlow and Daniel Eads went down to the Performance Center. And I'm like, why not, right? At those points. So that's where I'm at with those guys. So I they're next up for sure. They have to be, right?
You have the same reaction I do every time I see them get an inroad somewhere on TV, and lately it's been on AEW Dark. I'm just like, this is it.
Mm-hmm. Just waiting for it. Just waiting for them to start feuding with 2.0. Why not?
Like, this is it.
Also, the main event, please feud with 2.0, okay? So, hey, can I also throw shouts out because I was told by I was reminded by somebody that I will remain nameless. He's like, hey, remember when I brought in Larry D Legendary Larry D to RWA,
Oh,
and he
man.
became like your favorite wrestler. I'm like, yes, he's still my favorite damn wrestler. Like I was sold on him in one night. He was like, it was
Yeah.
like such a southern thing that and obviously he went to Impact and did great things. He's like, this tag team tonight that I booked is going to be your next one. And they're called the Outrunners. They did just, I believe, debut on AEW Dark Elevation this evening against the Butcher and the Blade. Don't judge by
Oh
that.
my God, are they the team from the '80s?
Yes. Turbo.
I
Hold
saw
on.
them.
I think it's Turbo, Magnum, and oh damn it! I gotta have it in my notes here somewhere because I had to do the title for them, and because I didn't know their names, so I asked the book. I was just like, what's their names? They're like Turbo, Magnum, and something else, and I'm like, those are the best.
Is
names.
it Thunder Blazer?
No.
You're not far off.
You're
though.
You're not far off at all.
Think
But look
American
these guys
Gladiators,
up. Follow.
And,
Look up.
You'll you'll get it.
Yes. Again, it's the Outrunners. No, wait. Damn it. I'm messing it up. And I just pulled up the wrong show.
No, it's the Outrunners.
Yeah, but like their
It's
names are like
Outrunners.
Blazer and Laser and
Hold on. I'll have it in just
yeah,
a
but we were
second.
watching that they've got like the one's got like a two-toned mullet going. It's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. Oh, here it is. Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd. Are those not the best names you've ever heard in pro wrestling?
That's
Pretty
pretty
good.
good.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's really good. So-
Wow, I'm just looking at this promo. Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
It looks like
It's-
they're about. It looks like they're about to knock some
Dude.
motherfuckers off with jousting.
Dude,
pummels.
they're great. It's akin
About
to
to shoot
the
somebody
last
with some
time
tennis balls.
I was excited with people in the same vein. Anthony Green. I know he's been he was at NXT and did stuff. But the first time I saw him was down at IWC. They brought him in, and he was slimy '80s dude. He came with like 2 girls and everything, right? And, like he had this super '80s vibe to him, and I'm like, this is a fucking presentation, and I love it.
Yeah.
You had to bring like 2 girls just to valet you. Who does that in indie wrestling on a regular basis, right?
It
So
looks like
extra.
what what Breezango would do like every 3rd month.
Absolutely. By the way, shout out, because I don't know, I'm not losing weight, but for some reason I can now wear 1XLs, so I think it's just all shifting to different places.
I didn't even realize you were wearing your Breezango shirt.
I'm wearing my Breezango shirt for the first time ever. So
Well
gifted from an old friend ages ago. So that's why the Elias last week was in 1X, and I'm like, this is it fits now, comfortably.
Excellent.
Look at you
So
go.
I was like, I don't weigh any less. It's just all
Fighting shape.
I don't know. I think it just all moved to my butt or something. But anyways, sorry, personal victories.
Everyone, get into the chat room and tell Sorg how good he looks right now.
I get enough of that when I go to a
He's
wrestling
looking
show, when I haven't seen people for 2 years because of COVID.
Sorg, you look so good.
Oh, thank you.
Get it, Sorg.
They get it.
Get it.
Get what? I'm
Get
married.
it.
There's nothing to get. I'm married.
Get into it.
Sorg, you can still get it. You just have to be careful where it comes from.
Unfortunately, it travels a lot, so I can't get it right now. So, anyway.
Damn it.
I gotta drop this into the chat.
Bring it
because
around, Matt.
I don't even remember this story, but Tina remembers a memory of a past show. You guys trying to teach Lee how to do a mean promo.
Yes, because he did.
Where is this clip?
This is it's somewhere. He's only been on the show I think once or twice, maybe.
That's a clip that should probably resurface.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably the time to do that.
resurface.
So it was early on. It was like, hey, you're a kick-ass wrestler, but and he still says he's not a good talker and everything like that. And he's like, I can't be mean. And he smiles all the time and all that.
Was
kind
I
of
there
stuff.
for that?
You had
That
to have been
sounds
there
familiar.
because remember,
It sounds
it
familiar.
started with the lemon face, lion face from
Oh yeah,
from Kevin Smith.
yeah. Because we were absolutely doing the lion face, lemon face.
Yeah, so we're
Like,
just
I
like
completely
scary
remember that.
face, right? And then of course
Yeah.
now he does the scary wrestler thing, right? So yeah, that's what that was. And apparently I was one of Tina's early shows listening to us. So
We just we're
Oh,
here
it's
for you.
that was at least
May-
4 years ago because that
Mayhem
was
show.
that might have been
Mayhem
here.
show 169.
Wow.
Nice.
That doesn't seem right, but okay.
No, that was 4 years ago.
Yeah, that would have been
169.
Indie Mayhem show.
was
Indie
because I
Mayhem
think
show.
he might have been on the show. Oh, that was on Indie Mayhem because I think it
That
was
was on that. He was on the regular show because unless I did the Lemon Face with someone else and you co-opted it.
So I think he was on either the regular show or Indie, like paired with somebody else because we were promoting something
Sean
specifically. Yes.
I'm looking at it right now on YouTube.
Right, but I thought we had him on like here in the studio, and that might have been where we did the Lion Lemon Face kind of situation. So I don't know. It's all fuzzy. Come on. So anyways,
We'll dig it up.
we'll dig it up. We'll dig it up. All right, last thing. Well, first of all, I do want to. This isn't going to be as big a conversation, but I just want to say one, Conquest has been killing it, so that they're not included in this conversation. But I really feel like this past weekend, Ryse Wrestling, Ring of Honor, both. I feel like because I have this kind of thought going where everybody post COVID, you know, especially the local promotions that are maybe just starting back up, you know, are they having to rebuild, or are they getting back to the vibe that they left off with, you know, kind of thing? And that's not an easy thing to do. But I think Ryse Wrestling, this show, you know, with Lee and the stuff they presented on that show, fantastic main event with Matt Conrad and Calvin Couture, Ziggy Heim and Colin Delaney had a great match too, and that's not to say nobody else did, but that's just off the top of my head right now. So and also shout outs to Chachi and the team that covered the show that night, and I got to walk in and just watch a show of Ryse Wrestling. That was fucking awesome. So we have a team that's dedicated, still doing the live switching and potentially streaming if we get to that point again. But now, like, I can go do other things, and I know Ryse is taking care of it, and it's fantastic, and I love it. And we're trying to do more of that with the guys that we're working with, because there's some interesting stuff coming up. But, you know, there was a really cool vibe there. And again, it was just, you know, even more so, and maybe because there were so many people there, not on the show, just a part of it, you know, so that old thing, and being in a different building than that movie theater we talked about, like, it just feels like, okay, this is getting back to form for that company, and that feels really cool. Ring of Honor, also partly because I did watch night 2 of Glory by Honor because I hadn't caught it yet. So I watched it back to back with the pay-per-view Sunday night, and I feel like Ring of Honor, and I don't know if it's that pure wrestling, you know, speech that happened and everything, but I feel like Ring of Honor is really on a good vibe too. The women's match was really good. Again, that 6-man tag with Vi and Unlimited and Lee with the pure wrestlers. The pure match that was on there, the 4-way championship match, 6-man tag with Shane Taylor and Rev were on that too. It just feels like they're in a good spot right now, and that's really cool to see. Like, okay, because obviously they've been on the build and everything, but fans back and all that, like, it feels really good. So, so I just want to speak a little bit to that for a moment, and God, there was one more thing I wanted to mention real quick, but I think that's about a wrap, and I should ask Mad Mike about Hawkeye real quick.
Hawkeye's trailer came out.
Yes.
It's set during Christmas time,
so
I'm gonna love it. It kind of looks like Clint's getting his Die Hard on, which
it does a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, like not the ghost of your lips, like, you know, wrong coast, but still, it looks fun. And there's a Hamilton parody musical apparently in the MC called Rogers. So I will most likely be working on songs for that. I don't know when I'm going to, but it sounds like something that I would do. But yeah, Hawkeye looks like a lot of fun, and he may be your least favorite Avenger, but he has a dog, so he's got that going for him.
Wait, was there a dog in the trailer?
Pizza Dog.
Was he in the trailer? Where was he in the trailer?
Yeah, he got his own special one shot, like the goodest of boys he is. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta watch that trailer again.
Yeah. Pizza Dog's in it.
Pizza Dog.
Pizza Dog.
Did he not have a family in the comic book?
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what version you read.
Yeah, because I mean, if you read the Matt Fraction Hawkeye, he's just kind of like alone living in a
he's
building.
he's a loner, but
Yeah.
I think there are versions where he's had family.
Okay. I mean, so it was like I was like, well, we can't be doing that version, right? So, but
I think it's an amalgam of.
and all of this is, I mean,
Yeah.
look at the whole spoiler alert Mandarin situation with Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. You're close.
Jeez, I suck at this.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yoshinobu Kanemaru.
Asuka.
Similar note, I had a discount, so I just picked up Snake Eyes, which I think is the best G.I. Joe movie.
Yeah.
It is.
That's a low bar.
It's a low bar. And don't
That's a low bar.
Don't watch Snake Eyes after watching Shang-Chi. It's not me making fun. I'm really trying to do this.
No.
So I just want to make sure nobody out there's
Shang-Chi.
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 Because he was Sean and there's a G in Shang. Shang-Chi.
I don't even know if I'm doing it right. I'm just coming up with the different ones.
Listen, you
Once
got
we get all the pronunciations
But
out.
guys,
you got
one
all
of
the
us will be
Japanese
right.
names, so I can't even. So
I only hit on those like half the time to be honest, when I'm reading. So,
guys,
yeah.
zombies.
what?
There were
That was some good stuff.
There were animated zombies.
Oh, the What If. Oh, the What If was so good. Yes, the zombie What If was so good and didn't get as goofy as the comic book one did. So
I will say, I think that may have been my least favorite installment so far.
So I would say my least favorite would be. I mean, just because they were sad, I kind of like least favorite would be the Doctor Strange one.
Okay.
But at the time, speaking of least favorites, I'm watching the Fantastic Four movie again in bits and pieces as I go to sleep at night.
Oh,
Because I need something to bore me to sleep because I'm
I'm
out of my sleep aids.
Hold on. Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Josh Trank one. Which I mean,
Whew.
no disrespect to
Okay,
him because I
okay.
understand that one, just like Suicide Squad,
You
that's
scared
not
me.
his.
I was
That's
like-
not his movie.
I was like, my word, like.
Right. This
Okay, 'cause
movie. So
you
I haven't gotten to
scared
the
me.
end. So do you love a superhero movie where there's basically no villain?
Mm-hmm.
The villain is just another dimension.
The villain is the friends we made all along.
Right.
Very true.
Right. And even going into it, I don't hate Doctor Doom. Right? And I don't know, and it's just, and now I watch Suicide Squad and hearing about how Suicide Squad was really kind of, did you know, I caught this just this week, did you know the Suicide Squad movie was re-edited by the people that did the trailer for it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's why it's so music heavy. And I learned what a needle drop is in a movie. And how ridiculous that movie is for it. But anyways. And I love
I think I know exactly what YouTube videos you've been watching.
I don't know. I hate watching those videos, but I just
because
ended up. I don't know. It was like the next
seen-
video, and I'm like, no.
I've seen that exact YouTube video.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
you go down a rabbit hole hearing about how they screwed up Suicide Squad, and next thing you know, you're part of QAnon. But anyways, that's enough of that.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of rabbit holes, I would be remiss if I don't just at least say the words. The Matrix Resurrection.
Oh my God!
Trailer.
Oh my God! All the feels. All the feels.
Okay, I'm gonna say something.
So much to chew on.
I'm gonna say something that might be a little controversial.
Okay.
What?
And-
You?
So, this may be by design,
Mm-hmm.
based on the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope they're not just redoing the first Matrix movie again.
That is post-Force Awakens PTSD setting in, Mad Mike, and I don't think you have anything to fear.
No, I like I said, I think it's by design
Mm-hmm.
because there's stuff in there that's specifically from the first movie.
Yeah, like
just
literally-
ripped
Yeah.
from it.
there's
Like-
there's literally the movie is playing within
Yeah.
the movie, and I'm
Now-
like, how meta are we going to get here?
Oh,
Yeah,
I think we're gonna get super
Well,
meta
it-
because I think Thomas Anderson is creating either a movie or a video game based on the Matrix.
So, which was going to be Enter the Matrix on the Xbox.
Yes, and I
so-
think that's actually what we're going to get. Like I truly,
Right. So I think I am not making many reservations because just watching Shang-Chi, realizing that the latter half of that movie was not represented at all in the trailer, and it's fantastic. I also still hold that Raya, the Last Dragon, is some kind of unofficial prequel to that movie.
No, Raya is a variant movie to Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Well, yes, but there's a lot of right. Yes, but I'm sorry. Just there's some things that happen in Raya that translate directly into Shang-Chi. So I'm yes, and I am
Okay.
and and especially the dragon designs, because while elegant and I love it, I'm also partially baffled by the flying snake dragons, stylistically. So like,
Sorg, I have no idea what you're talking about.
wait, there it is right there.
I have no idea.
What is that? What is that thing?
That is the Great Protector. That is the dragon from.
Oh,
Shang-Chi.
that's you got a Lego Shang-Chi set.
Yeah. It was a mini one that came free with my purchase, so I got him
Got
and
the
I got.
spoiler Legos.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was lovely.
I
All
love
right,
spoiler
listen,
Legos.
listen. It's a China-based mythical thing.
But
if you
I
don't
mean,
expect there's going to be dragons, I got something for you. I think
Here there be
I'm still
dragons.
trying to remember if there was dragons and snake eyes. I feel like there was.
Bro,
No.
So the,
No, there
so
were.
the Matrix
Yeah.
trailer came out.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you know, we like to throw around the word lore a lot.
Mhm.
We want to talk about some thick ass lore.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
Matrix lore is dense,
Mhm.
difficult to work through.
Yes, it
Well,
is.
to be fair, only 2/3 of it is difficult to work through.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean-
no. There's a lot. Do you remember the website had a lot of story, like
Yeah, I know.
and
I'm-
animatrix.
I think it still roughly comes out to 2/3.
okay.
The
Good
but
generalization.
to your point, Sorgi, is that the coordination between the different various medias is such that, from my understanding at least, like most of the Matrix stuff that was released, video games,
Mhm.
comic books, ancillary media, still all holds. Like,
Yes.
can canonically still hold,
Yes.
which is so. I mean, I've gone into a couple YouTube rabbit holes since this.
Okay.
And
I
there's
see.
this wonderful Matrix Explained YouTube channel that is just a conveyor belt of just daily videos, just nonsense and just Matrix nonsense. You all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
And it's just
yeah.
like rolling it out, and I'm just eating it up, and I'm like, don't understand. Give me more. I like it. Come on. So it's cool. I'm the Matrix is a special movie, so I'm excited to see him take another swing at it. It deserves another go. You know, those two sequels are probably a little bit underrated.
Hey,
to be honest with
you know what? It's got Neil Patrick Harris in, so that's already a plus going for it. Love me some
It'll be
MPH.
fun.
Love me some MPH.
Mm-hmm. Fired up.
One last thing before we go, Sorg. Want to know in fantasy? Want to know?
Oh, geez, I'm not getting into this.
There we go.
Here we
you
go.
guys can start another podcast for all the
Here we
trash
go.
talk.
This week in the Mayhem.
put it
Here
on-
we go.
Just leave it on the Twitter. Jeez.
And Sorg, we have a new challenger in the Mayhem Fantasy Football League.
Oh,
There are now, from the Carlins household, 3 representatives in the Mayhem Fantasy Football League.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt, would you like to expound
Yeah. Well,
upon?
Mason has his own team now.
Oh.
Because he was so successful running my team,
Mhm.
and Jen insists that Mason is the reason I won the championship last year.
Fair enough.
So I fired him, and now I'm running my team.
You
and he's
fired
running
your
his-
son?
I did. I told him I've got good news and I've got bad news. What do you want to hear first? And he goes, I want the good news first. And I go, okay, you're running one of the fantasy football teams in the Mayhem League. We need an extra owner, so you're taking over the team. Great. Now the bad news. Yes, you're fired. Oh, okay.
What the hell?
And then I go, you want to make a trade? No.
Really? Because he made a trade with me.
Well, he likes you. I fired him. So.
Fair. And I will say, I believe it was a fair trade.
I mean, he showed it to me, and I was like, close enough. He's a wheeler dealer.
I believe it was a fair trade. Mason didn't have the luxury of having 2 quarterbacks like a lot of teams in our league.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to have 3.
Yep.
So I'm like, hey, you know what? We'll throw the kid a bone.
He's an 11-year-old child. All he wants to do is make trades. So
Yep.
All he lives for it.
Mm-hmm.
The art of the deal. So.
Wow. Wow.
So it's great. We'll see how it goes. I can't wait for the week where we all win. That's gonna be.
I can't wait for the first week where Mason has to face Jen.
Wait. The name is the name we were looking for before was Nikita Knight. Is the girl from the Stronghold Rise Academy? That's on Dark coming up, and she'll be taking on Thunder Rosa.
Excellent.
Fuck.
What's the worst that could happen?
Right. Thank you, everybody. It's been fun to be back at this after a week hiatus, and sorry for these glitchy things. If you're watching us on video, I'm already looking at ways to restructure this so it looks fantastic here for Tuesday night. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.